But these unique swirls are more than just decorative. Successfully welding dozens or even thousands of steel layers creates some of the strongest and sharpest knives money can buy. What starts as individual layers of 2 different alloys transforms into this. A 7-inch chef's knife that retails for $700.
Damn.
Some of Zach's knives cost $5,000.
What the
and
fuck?
commissions can reach well over $17,000. So how are swirl patterns made from steel? And why are Damascus knives so expensive?
The people saying it's a fucking knife. Hello? Hello? We're about to find out why it's so expensive. That's the whole video. It's not called why Damascus knives are not expensive or Damascus knives are not inexpensive. It's called why Damascus knives are so expensive. Hello? You're about to find out why it's so expensive. Stop getting mad.
Notice right away when looking at Damascus is that visual pattern, and it ranges from very, very bold.
Okay, I would buy a knife from this guy. Look at him, dude. I mean, dude, this is what a blacksmith should look like. Okay? Like, I get why it's $7,000, bro. Look at this fucking guy. Look at him. Look at him. Also, I don't want to hear from you CSGO Andes. You probably spent like around $4 grand, $5 grand, $6 grand, and you got 0 knives so far. Okay, so suck my dick. At least that's a real knife in the real world that you can actually cut shit with, and not a digital knife that you don't even have yet.
Bold and big layers to very, very fine and shimmery layers. And you're going to see that pattern jump out at you, and you're going to see the way the light plays off of it, and it's going to shimmer and look almost holographic at times.
The bladesmithing community refers to this effect as chatoyance, or the shine of a cat's eye. Aside from the striking pattern, quality Damascus knives are known to be hard but flexible and able to maintain a sharp edge.
Okay, some of those cuts are not that impressive, okay? Like, listen, the really thin slice were impressive. And then he was just like cutting normal cucumbers. It's like this thick. I could do that with a butter knife, dog. Fuck you mean?
Zach starts by layering 2 different kinds of high carbon steel. Managing the layers means more work for the smith. And while high-end monosteel knives may perform similarly, Damascus knives are coveted for their striking appearance and the craftsmanship required to achieve it. After tacking the layers...
All of Excuses chat is spamming Hasan, Sag. What else is new, man? The fucking sun is going to set and it's going to rise again. And Excuses fucking audience is going to spam Hasan. XQC is going to misunderstand the point I'm making. He's going to get mad. There's going to be more drama. It's going to be clipped on LSF. Motherfuckers are going to farm karma. Who cares? Just live your life.
Together, Zach puts the stack in the forge and heats it to about 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit. He needs an experienced eye to judge when the steel is ready, because it's at risk of breaking off the handle while the layers are not yet forge welded together. Zach needs to consider the kind of pattern he wants to make before he can begin forging. A bold pattern means fewer layers, and a more intricate pattern can require several thousand.
Oh my God.
Working with so many layers to achieve his intended design means lots of things can go wrong. Out of thousands of hammer strikes, a single blow in the wrong place can ruin the pattern. Even when the pattern is done to perfection, Zach has to forge the steel into a knife without distorting the design. And if he forges the steel when it's too cold, it can crack, and he has to start over, which for Damascus steel can mean losing weeks worth of work. Once he forge welds the steel into a long bar, Zach can begin folding over the layers. The layer count has the most effect on the price. The more layers, the more folding and work for Zach, which means a higher price point. The pattern on this particular knife, called Texas Wind, has a...
Dude, this video is just straight up lying. Advanced techniques, something literally any blacksmith can do. Damascus is about as special as diamonds. From what I understand, as someone who is a professional blacksmith, who has done professional blacksmithing, a lot of the stuff that she's describing is just like basic knife making. But the only difference is that its pattern is unique. That's what it is, right? Like, it just has a unique and very cool pattern. And in order to maintain that cool and unique pattern, you have to be very careful and very deliberate with all of your strikes. You can't just like fucking randomly strike at it. That's pretty much it. It costs so much because it's a human making it by hand rather than a machine shitting out 100 a day. Yeah. These knives are worth a 600 plus price, but only if you cook often. I have one and I love my knife. It was a game changer.
Has only 45 layers, which is why Zach sells it for just under $1,000. But his more expensive knives can have 5,000 layers.
Holy fuck, look at that.
And that can take a month to
Bro, this is some Dan Flash's ass shit, dude. Look at the complicated patterns, brother.
complete, giving it a higher price tag.
So you can see I'm twisting the steel with this wrench. It's got to be real hot. If it gets too cool, the layers will want to shear and come apart, and then the piece is trash. I'm keeping track of the rate that I'm twisting at and counting as I go.
This technique is specific to twist Damascus, and it creates star-like patterns on the steel.
Too much twisting and the steel will want to shear, but the tighter the twist, the more dramatic the pattern. And that'll do it.
When Zach is making a standard Damascus wave pattern, he continues to work on elongating and thinning the bar using a power hammer. Zach's larger power hammer cost him $20,000. But that's just a drop in the bucket.
Dude, it's like +7 sneak, and you know how good a backstab crit damage can be. So I don't want to hear no shit talking for you motherfuckers, okay? Like, this is the assassin's preferred weapon for a reason.
He spent at least $100,000 on specialized machinery. But this large investment allows Zach to produce high-quality Damascus knives. Once Zach forges the tip of the blade, he cross-checks it with his template to ensure the knife looks exactly as it should.
Now it needs to undergo a metallurgical change, which is called heat treatment, and this part is hardening. And
Like, a lot of the stuff that he's explaining is just like basic knife making, by the way. Again, as a professional knife maker who has made a knife but never really fully finished it, I am the foremost authority to talk on the subject. And he's basically describing how all blacksmithing by hand works. For those of you who are not professional knife makers like myself, you know, I will do the honors and explain it to you, like, fear not, you know what I mean? 'Cause I'm sure you're like worried, concerned, don't understand it. Like, I am a professional knife maker.
without doing this, the thing might be shaped like a knife, but it won't behave like a knife. It won't take an edge, it won't hold an edge. So the heat treatment is really, really a critical process, and it determines the metallurgy and therefore the performance of the finished knife.
But it's the quenching that makes or breaks the knife. Sometimes a blade will fail in the quench by cracking or warping irretrievably.
Looks like the blade came through the hardening.
I mean, here, if you want to know.
At first it was fun, then scary, then fun again, then spooky, but in a fun way.
I love this fight.
Yeah. Like, there's footage.
Process really well. It's straight, it doesn't have much warping. Little warps can be corrected, and I can see that the scale has blown away from the surface of the steel here, which tells me that the steel has contracted and become hard, and that's what I was looking for. So now this is ready for finish grinding and then a handle. The grinding operation is one of the areas where the skill is kind of most important and most obvious, and this is one of the things that really drives the cost. A single slip can ruin the piece in an instant.
The handle is also an important factor when pricing the final product. Some materials, like local maple, are more affordable for Zach, but this Arizona ironwood costs him 10 times as much. It's also a harder wood than maple and requires more work to shape. Zach designs the handles so they serve the purpose of the knife. He makes kitchen knife handles slim, but large enough for the chef to have a firm grip. A hunting knife, on the other hand, requires different properties. It might be used with cold or wet hands, which can cause them to slip. The final step in creating a Damascus knife is the etching, which makes the pattern bolder to the eye. Once dipped in the etchant mixture, one of the alloys oxidizes and turns darker, while the other alloy resists, maintaining its color. Now, the Damascus pattern is revealed. But Zach isn't done yet. He needs to assess the quality of his creation.
Let's test the edge. And I use paper for this. This is a simple test. It should glide through with no problem.
This knife is razor sharp, with no dullness that needs adjusting. It's ready to sell to chefs like Diego Moya. Diego has been a chef for 27 years and focuses on vegetable cookery.
I've had some sharp knives, but this one kind of out of the gate just feels like it glides through without any resistance at all. It's pretty amazing. It just does exactly what your arm wants it to do. You don't have to fight it.
He's using a 10-inch chef's knife made by Zach, which costs $1,200.
I think the experience is one of effortlessness. I think you just forget that you're using a knife. And
$50 knives are as much sharp as that? Okay, bro. Like, the thing I don't understand about this is, like, why you say things like this. Like, as though we haven't tested this, you know what I mean? Like, I cook a lot. I know what a $50 knife cuts like, and I know what expensive knives cut like. I've never used one of these, but, like, you're wrong. You can make any kind of knife sharp if you want. This is more so about the durability of the fucking edge. Okay? But ultimately, you're wrong on the $50 knife part anyway, because no fucking shit-ass knife that you buy is going to be, like, this good. All knives are the same shit. Sounds like a skill issue. Dude, what are you, like a professional stabber? What the fuck are you talking about?
I think that when you forget you're using a knife and you use your arm to produce the cutting motion, that's pure bliss. For this kind of experience, you have to pay the price.
Zach's buyers typically know the work that's gone into the knife they purchase and the skill level required to make a quality Damascus knife. Zach is one of the fewer than 200 master bladesmiths designated by the American Bladesmith Society. To earn the title, they must successfully produce a Damascus blade with a minimum of 300 layers. The blade must be strong, tough, sharp, and balanced. In Zach's case, he had to take the test twice before getting the Mastersmith title. The knife performance test includes cutting through a 2x4 and even shaving hair off his arm. But it was the presentation test that set Zach back because of a 10-degree misalignment in the handle. Since becoming a Mastersmith,
dude, I hate when that happens. I'm a professional knife maker.
In Damascus making. One of his current projects might sell for over $100,000 if it's
he's trying to be me, dog. You see that? He's trying to be me. He's literally trying to make the same. That's fucked up. Okay.
Commissioned.
So this is a project that I've been working on designing for quite a while.
Yeah, he's trying to be
a very elaborate Middle Eastern sword, a type of scimitar. This is a rough ground blade that I forged out of 1,500 layer Damascus.
Yeah, no, he's literally just trying to be me.
The demand for Damascus knives has created a market
kind of
for fake
fucked up.
Damascus, where
like, Betty can't even fucking serve top of the hour ad breaks. I can make a kaluch, and I'm halfway through. I'll finish it one day. But he can't serve top of the hour ad breaks. You know what I mean? And my top of the hour ad breaks don't even cost $10,000. It's only $5 to avoid them. Or free. if you have a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me. Or you can get gifted a sub too if you're lucky. Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
Manufacturers imprint the swirl patterns on the knife and sell it at a more affordable price.
You can get a Damascus knife for 30 bucks, but it will not cut anything for you. There's definitely a growing demand for Damascus steel. When I started out knife making, it was not super well known.